Hey, what's up, guys? This is Luke Jett back for Thoughts of the Bench podcast. Here, as always, with Shane Hardy and Ben Marks. Fellas, how you doing?
Fantastic.
Same as always.
Okay. Just, you can't show any emotion or anything. You just gotta same as always kind of thing.
Every day. Same as always.
Grinding.
And new with us this week and all through training camp, it's going to be our boy Kyle Mack. Kyle, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Kyle has a YouTube channel called, what is it?
Just recently changed the handle on that over to KMAC Time, no spaces, over on YouTube. Also have a Twitter. It's the exact same things, at KMAC Time, no spaces. Hit me up.
Well, perfect. Sounds good. So, as we have Kyle here all through while the Bears are in Bourbon A, and Kyle's got some special insight. He'll be writing for the blog, doing training camp updates for everybody there. So go to the blog, follow it. It'll be on our Twitter handle. We'll tweet out the links, and we'll let Kyle turn over and see what he has.
Got that up to date from live from practice. Might even do a couple while I'm on the field. I actually work at Bears camp. And I do have the privilege of being on the field next to all of the Bears while practice is going on for every one of their practices. And it's pretty much a dream job. I get to watch practice and not really do much, just kind of walk around the field and watch practice is basically my job, and it's pretty awesome. So I have all the up-to-dates on everything that's been going on at Bears camp and all the insider knowledge. So if you're looking forward to that, come over and check out the podcast and all that kind of stuff like that. And it's going to be a real good time.
Sounds good. So first thing we got to ask, how is everybody looking? Everybody up to football?
Well, let's start off with the obvious thing to talk about here is Jay. Everyone likes to hate on Jay being a dick and being all this kind of stuff. But he's done a lot more to his PR this year. Just the smaller, noticeable things. He's been signing a lot more autographs. He's been spending more time after practice with people. And you didn't really see that from him in the past. He's trying to be a nicer guy. I did notice that he does not take the golf cart out to practice anymore. He actually walks with his teammates. It's crazy. I see him every morning. He actually said hi to me the other day. He said good morning to me, so I was shocked. He was not smoking a cigarette, so no smoking, Jay.
He's a new man.
But yeah, a lot of new guys, a lot of new faces this year. Martellus Bennett, obviously, another new face, can be a big part of this offense, I feel like. And Tressman, also a new face. A lot different than Lovey, having practices early in the morning and stuff like that. It's a lot different, and I don't know. It's a lot of cool guys. This year.
That's what I was going to ask next. How's the Tressman camp compared to Lovey's camp? I've heard Tressman's more runs like a college camp. I've heard that's what.
Well, I can tell you that Tressman is definitely more hands-on with the players. Knowing from experience, I've done Bears camps for 3 years now. I've been with Lovey and now Tressman. He's definitely more involved. Like whereas Lovey would sit on the sidelines and kind of just converse with the coaches and the defensive coordinators and all the big wigs, and he wouldn't really get into the practice too much. He would just kind of say things to coaches, and they would go out and direct it for him. Whereas Tressman is physically out there. Like I've seen him, he grabbed I believe it was Peppers the other day, grabbed him by the shoulder pads and was telling him he was doing something wrong. And it was physically trying to move this giant, large man, and he's so much bigger than him, it's ridiculous. And it was kind of funny, and Peppers was just laughing about it because he was trying to pick him up, but it was real funny. He's definitely more hands-on. He's always got his nose in everything. He's out there every second of every play watching everything, and he's really, really fine-tuned about his offense, too. He's really upbeat about it. They're running clocks they're doing offensive 7-on-7. They run, clocks and only have, it's not even a play clock. It's less than that. It's 18 seconds or something like that. Or maybe even less. They have to get plays off, and they have to do no huddle situations. They do this situation. And he's really upbeat about it, and if they don't get it done, they know about it. He's up there ripping them a new one about it. And Shay, I've been noticing Jay's been doing a lot better about that. He's got an upbeat. He seems a lot friendlier with his linemen this year. I really like what their offense is doing this year. I can see good things.
I hope so.
How's the offense looking, though? I heard it's a completely different system. I mean,
they did talk about Tressman to talk about his coordinator's system taking I think he said 3 years to fully understand. Mm-hmm. But this year is not looking too bad. I mean, the first play of training camp, Jay did throw a pick six straight to Tillman, and it was not looking so hot. But the defense was looking good. Let's say that. But from what I've seen, it's going to be a lot different. I think there's going to be a little more tight end working in there with Martellus coming in, the big target over the center for once that actually has hands, unlike, was it Kellen Davis last year? God, that guy. I think he plays for the Browns now. I think I looked that up the other day. But I like what they see. And, of course, they also have, coming back, they have Elshon and they have Marshall. So they'll have some outsides receivers that can stretch the field as well, as long as they can all stay healthy again this year. And looking forward to a couple of the newer guys that are coming onto the roster this year that might shock you later on in the year. I know that like last year with Dane Sossenbacher, he unfortunately was cut, was one of my favorite guys. But this year coming onto the team, Joe Anderson, a first-year guy, it's actually second-year guy out of Texas Southern. I really like what he's been doing. He might actually find a spot on the roster. I don't know how much playing time he'll come into, but I could definitely see him being that maybe fourth, fifth guy coming in certain times, maybe second half for a big play, something like that. He's got really good downfield speed, over the top capability. He runs a lot of fades in practice. He's really good at it too. It's really fun to watch.
So he's a wide receiver, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So how's everybody talking about the Bears? You have to bring up Devin Hester. How's Hester doing?
Well, it's really interesting what he's been doing this year at practice. It's been something completely different than what I've ever seen from him before. He actually doesn't even wear an offensive jersey anymore. If you've never been to Bears camp, they split it up. All offensive players wear blue jerseys, all defensive players wear white jerseys, and all quarterbacks wear orange jerseys. Whereas usually Hester would be wearing a blue one. This year he's wearing a white one, a defensive jersey. And he's been practicing a lot with the defensive special teams, the kick-offs and the punt returns and all that kind of stuff like that. And it's just been something different. Also, yesterday at practice, this is kind of a crazy thing, but they're trying to get the ball into his hands in creative ways. And I think it's very interesting what they're doing with them. Is he's actually holding the place kicks for PATs and field goals. He'll be the guy that receives the snap and holds it for Robbie Gould. Hold the ball for him. And I think it adds an interesting dynamic. I mean, like I said, any way to get the ball into a playmaker's hands like that, it just is a good idea. If he can handle holding the ball, you don't obviously want to fumble on something like that,
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be that hard of a job to catch the ball and put it down for Robbie. I mean, he seemed to be doing fine at it at practice. But yeah, it would definitely make the defense have to respect his running capabilities because, as we all know, he can run like the wind. He's a quick guy, and they might not be able to rush all 12 guys. All of that, they have to take a guy off the line to respect the fake. That could take some of the heat off of the line. They have a better chance of getting a field goal off. Maybe they could do deeper field goals or something like that. It just adds something new, the new perspective to the whole dynamic of that. I think it's something smart, something different to get the ball into a playmaker's hands. I think it's a good idea.
Now, is he still out there returning kicks and taking punts and all this stuff, or is it just strictly defense?
No, he still does. Like they'll come out like the special teams guys usually come out first. The punters, Adam Podlish, and then the new guy. I think his name is Tress Way. He's just a practice squad guy out of Oklahoma. He's a rookie, but him and Robbie and all those guys come out early and they do kickoffs and punts. And it's usually him, as in Devin Hester back there returning them. Also, Eric Weems is back there, and I know that sometimes Earl Bennett goes back there and also receives and stuff like that, practicing. But usually, for the most part, it is Devin Hester still doing his kickoff returns and punt returns. He's still going to be a big part of that as well. That part of his game is not going to be out, but I don't think we'll see him as a wide receiver like we have in the past. That experiment didn't really work out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that definitely did not work out.
But another big question going into the Bears season is the replacement of Brian Urlacher. And I've seen some reports that John Bostic, the rookie linebacker out of Florida, is taking that spot and been playing on the first team, doing well. I didn't know if you had any insight onto that and seeing how he's playing or whatever.
I have seen a little bit of this guy. I have not seen too terribly much of him because usually I'm on the offensive side of the field where I work. But I have seen a little bit of this. I have seen a little bit of him and Lance Briggs kind of getting there, like on the sidelines from like between plays or whatever when their offense goes on the field and they're just sitting there having a little bit of downtime. I've seen those guys maybe like communicating about what the signals are and really trying to vibe and get a good idea of what the defensive play calls are going to be. And I've heard good things about this guy. I've heard really good things. Like I said, out of Florida. I hope he's good. I hope he's good. I hope it's as good as they claim. And I hope that Lance Briggs and then the other guys on the linebacking crew are helping him along in his learning experience. I know it's not an easy thing to do to come out of college and just be transitioned into a starting role like that, but hopefully he can pull it off. If not, Lance is always a good guy to take that spot. He's been there for many, many years. Big guy, Pro Bowler, just a great guy too. He's so much fun to watch in the practice field. Every time there's a turnover, he just starts hooting and hollering and running and throws his hands up. And he's such a funny guy. I love the guy to death. He's one of my favorite players. That's
a good sign. I mean, it's going to be hard replacing obviously a Hall of Fame linebacker, and that's going to be tough. But it's somebody's got to do it, and I'm glad a rookie stepping up and trying to fill that void. That'd be nice. It'd be a nice surprise to see him go through the training camp and take the job away.
I've heard reports today that Brandon Marshall took the day off, took a receiver day off because something with his hip. Do you have any insight on that or anything? Or?
I did see that he wasn't practicing yesterday. It wasn't anything serious. He was still out on the field. He was still taking balls off the jugs machine. He was still even playing catch on the sideline and he was even after practice I saw him do a couple sprints. It didn't seem like it was anything like a big injury or any issue or anything like that. They're just erring on the side of caution, especially when they practice 4 days in a row like they do now. Just take an extra day off just to make sure you're healthy. I think everything will be fine. He's in great shape and he looks fine when he's out there doing his thing.
Excellent.
That's really good to hear. Because this offense cannot afford to lose Brandon Marshall, because that is Jay's favorite target, and there's no way that you've seen our offense sputter a few times before in 2010 and 2011 before we had Marshall, so that's a good thing that that Marshall's not hurt any long time.
The offense also sputtered last year too when we had Marshall, but sure.
With no offensive line, which the Bears have addressed this offseason.
Hopefully Bushrod gets better. What's that? Bushrod strained calf or something? I think he's fine too.
Yeah, it wasn't a big injury with him either.
Excellent. That's good to hear. So, any other injuries that had come through? Anything?
I believe Turk McBride yesterday at practice was carted off. It was a ruptured, what was it? Achilles. Yeah, that might be a season ender for him.
Yeah.
He's a seventh-year guy out of Tennessee. I think he might be new to the team, though. Never heard of him before. That's awful to hear. You don't like to see anybody going down with an injury like that, especially in training camp before they even make it to the season. But I'm sure they'll bring in a new person to take his place, and there'll be a whole new roster card with someone else.
Yeah. All right. So this is the point of the podcast where we're going to jump into an email that we got about the Bears. It's from Ricky Linares. Sorry if I butchered your name on that. But his question is, if Jay Cutler has a bad season under Mark Trestman, what do the Bears do with Jay? Do they draft a QB in the first round next year? And what is Matt Forte's season outlook look like? We're going to jump on Jay first. I don't see any scenario where Jay leaves, to be honest. There's not really a quarterback opening anywhere else. I think he's, like Kyle said, he's trying to jump on Trestman's system, so I think he's going to stay for the long term.
I don't see that he's going to leave. There's no, I don't know, I guess you can say there's no other spot for him to go, like Luke said, and I don't think anyone's going to want to take on the contract he, brings with him. So I think that the Bears will pick him up and take the gamble with him and keep him in Chicago.
I think you guys are right. Jay is not going to want to leave. Question is, will the Bears want to sign him to a long-term deal? I think that if he has a good season, I say yes. But if not, that's where it might get questionable. I hope they do.
What happens if they don't sign him, though? What are they going to do? They're going to draft a quarterback first round next year?
Better question is, if they go that route and they do elect to take a first-round quarterback, who's their guy? We're talking Johnny Football here, or who we got? That's a whole other can of worms because you have a whole other college season in front of us as well. I'm not sure how that's all going to play out with injuries and all that stuff. Could be a surprise quarterback out of nowhere. But
we're going to have some hangover and frat party
I hope
contract
so. I love
exceptions or
so
something.
So
we're going to put in some incentives in there for showing up hungover.
I am so pro Johnny Football. It's ridiculous.
I love Johnny Football too. I'm a huge supporter, so he can do whatever he wants. I mean, he's the Heisman Trophy winner or whatever.
Yeah. He's only 20. Give him a goddamn break.
He beat Bama. It doesn't matter. But So we kind of addressed the draft QB in the first round. I don't know if there's any other big quarterback out there.
I mean, you can even talk about like their second or third string quarterback on their team now. I believe the second string is Matt Blanchard, second year guy out of Wisconsin Whitewater.
Yeah, that doesn't sound.
It doesn't ring a bell to anybody, does it? I mean, the kid's good in practice. They also have Josh McCown on the roster, 11, just a veteran guy out of Sam Houston State, his 11th year. Really nice guy though. Love this guy in practice. He's so nice. He stays after practice and kind of talks to some of the younger guys a lot. Yeah, he really he's more airs on the side of almost a coach from his veteran perspective towards some of the younger guys. But real nice guy. He's still got a great arm. I'm sure he could get the job halfway done, I guess you could say. But
yeah, we've seen that how Jason Campbell did last year.
Yeah. I forgot they had Jason Campbell.
Oh yeah,
wow.
He had to play that Niners game on Monday night.
He retired. Let's go pick him up.
He went to the Browns, I think.
Everyone's going to the Browns to take the whole freaking backup offense.
But another quarterback, A.J. McCarron. I still don't know if you trust. I mean, I don't think. Depending on the Bears season, you don't know where they'll probably go top 5 anyway. So
well, McCarron, I mean, he looks good now, but so does every single other Alabama quarterback. They all look good. LSU's quarterback also look good, sure.
What is it, USC? Or, I mean, Mark Sanchez, Matt Leinart?
Well, I mean, good college quarterbacks, I mean, sometimes they work out. Like Andrew Luck, he was good. RG3 was good. Russell Wilson was good. But then the major powerhouse quarterbacks, I don't think they have to work as hard in college just because their team is so much better. That they have the top wide receivers, the top linemen, so they don't have to work as hard.
Makes sense. We got some breaking news jumping into the podcast. We got the Red Sox and White Sox have agreed to trade Jake Peavy to the Boston Red Sox. I'll try to find some stuff on here.
We'll come back to that in a minute. We got the other question to address about Forte's season outlook. What do you guys think about that? I think that he's gonna have a great season. I mean, when you address the offense like they did this offseason, they get a new offense. Pretty much a new chunk of the offensive line. Kyle Long's coming out here. He's looking just absolutely fantastic in practice. Then you got Jay Cutler and Brandon Marsh and all them again. I mean, you got to respect the throw now, and you also got to respect the run. So I think that it just opens up more, potentially for him for holes and stuff.
Exactly. If you're looking at outlook, I mean, he's always gonna be. He's one of the top 5 pass catcher running backs too. He's always very
great hands.
Yes, he has great hands, and I think he'd be fine. I think he's gonna be fantastic. To be honest with you, but
also cannot forget about the backup, the smash and dash combination of him and Michael Bush.
Yes,
bigger guy, goal line kind of guy. He might be a touchdown hawk in certain fantasy football leagues. I guess you could consider. He gets those goal line, first and goal kind of things. He gets those big 1-yard runs. He's just a little bit bigger, a little lower to the ground. Can get those bull rush for you. But he's also a good guy to have on your roster. Like I said, he's a good smash and dash. It's a good combination. Have a guy that can really take a lot of physical contact and dish it back. And also, he's really quick as well. He's got great cuts and abilities. He was really good with, I believe he was with the Raiders before. Mm-hmm. He was really good with them. He had a good season last year, too. I think he was cut down with injuries, maybe a little bit towards the end of the year. I don't really recall too much. But good guy having the roster, and also looking forward to maybe Armando Allen, second-year guy out of Notre Dame, maybe possibly being the third string. Might even get some special teams. It might make the roster this year. I'm really looking forward to him. Great guy out of Notre Dame.
He had a pretty good preseason last year with the Bears, and I think didn't he get in for a regular season game?
Yeah, at the end. I mean, you had Forte get injured a little bit. What was it? I think it was the Green Bay game. He got injured.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Armando Allen got in.
He got in. He got a few snaps. I mean, that's fine.
Little guy, but I mean, he looks like he runs pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you got to. I mean, that's
quick on his feet, great agility is all I got to say. He's really, really quick.
Ben, could you look up when the first preseason game is? God, I'm just itching for some football.
I believe the first preseason game is
Sunday,
15th.
I thought I seen a tweet that said there's no more. This was like last Sunday. It was the last Sunday without.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunday. Sunday we're gonna have some football. We got the Dolphins
Miami.
and the Cowboys playing in the. Is that the Hall of Fame game?
I believe so, yes.
Yep. Excellent. Well, that's fantastic.
Football is back in America. All is well.
7 o'clock p.m. on NBC. We've had some big injuries also in the NFL. I mean, Percy Harvin goes down with a hip injury. Jeremy Maclin with a Jeremy Maclin had an ACL, right?
Yeah,
he blew out his ACL. So I mean,
Dennis Pitta.
with the
Also, I can't
dislocated
remember
hip.
his name, but the center for the
Broncos.
Oh,
went
yeah.
down yesterday, which
He
is a
did.
big hit to Peyton Manning in his offense.
That's huge. So you look at fantasy guys. I mean, Percy Harvin's a huge fantasy player. You'd think. I mean, he's probably gonna have. He's projected to have a huge year. Russell Wilson was gonna be there for him.
If
So
he's not on the DL all year.
yeah, he's out for the year, I think.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, Percy Harvin's done now, but
He
yeah, we
had
had
surgery, I believe. He said he tweeted that today. He had to have surgery.
our fantasy draft about last week. So I mean, we did all right. I think. I mean, all of us did.
Speak for yourself.
I thought I had a pretty good draft.
Just draft Dennis Pitta, Jeremy Maclin, and Percy Harvin all on your team. This is bad luck, bro.
But yeah, so we're looking ready to fantasy football. I know Kyle and I
Fantasy
talk.
Football. Best time of the year.
Kyle and I talk down. Kyle goes to ISU just like I do, and I remember last year we had a lot of fantasy football talks at
A lot of
at lunch.
lunchtime discussions.
Yep. So should be fun. We'll probably do it again next year. So, but we're gonna switch gears back to that Jake Peavy deal, and right now it's looking like there's a 3-way trade. Peavy goes to the Red Sox. Jose Iglesias, one of the top shortstop prospects, he's going to the Tigers, and then the Tigers are sending, I think, a couple minor league prospects to the White Sox. I'm not sure what it's looking like right now.
I'm seeing a bunch of different things on Twitter about
Yeah.
who's going where.
That's what I'm trying to look up. And, I mean, and this could be huge, potentially, for the Tigers because of Johnny Peralta is in the center of the biogenesis stuff. So, I
Totally.
mean, he could get suspended for
They're all
50 to
going
100
now.
games.
They're
Yeah.
going now.
Oh, yeah. A-Rod and all them. But this could be huge because Iglesias could step right in. He steps right into a contender. And Shane's got more news on this, Shane.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like who said earlier, Jake Peavy is going to go to the Red Sox. Jose Iglesias is going to go to the Tigers, and then Avisail Garcia is going to go to the White Sox. And I heard there might be more to come, but as of right now, that's what went down or is in the process of going down.
Yeah, the White Sox are in rebuilding mode, so none of these are going to matter for the next couple of years. But the Red Sox are, I believe, in first place or second place or something.
Yeah,
so,
that's definitely going to beef
Yeah.
up their
yeah.
pitching roster.
So yeah, that'll help. I mean,
That's
anything.
huge for them.
All pitching helps in August, so I mean, it's going to be huge. After the baseball thing, we're going to switch a little bit to the NBA schedule. Got leaked. The opening game, the Bulls are going to be in Miami
Ooh.
for the banner ceremony in Miami. So that should be
Big game.
That should be interesting.
And then also we forgot that's going to be the return.
That's going to be the return. It's going to be in Miami.
Rumored return. I don't know, guys. I'm not ready yet.
The knee might not be ready.
Is he mentally ready yet? Or?
What do you guys think? Do you guys think that's the best rivalry in basketball right now?
It's got to be.
It's one of them. I still think I just like the old school, like
Celtics Lakers.
Celtics Lakers, of course, is a big one. Pacers Knicks is a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Spike Lee, whole thing going down. I love that ESPN 30 for 30. It's so great.
That's one of my favorite 30 for 30s, the Reggie Miller winning time.
Totally.
But yeah, I mean that's gonna be might be one of the most like televised opening day basketball games ever.
Oh yeah, the Heat are such a big market now with all their big three that you can't possibly not have them on ESPN or NBC or whoever's hosting that game.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be so hamped up. You're going to see commercials over it for weeks.
And especially with the return, it's going to be huge. Huge.
Is it in Chicago or is it in Miami?
Miami.
Oh.
They're raising the banner.
God damn it.
If that doesn't fuel the fire, I don't know what does.
Road trip. Road trip.
Going down to South. We're going to take our
Talents.
podcasting talents to South Beach. But the Bulls look like they're gonna go back and might be a 1 seed again. Might be a 2 seed.
They're gonna be a 1 seed next year. They're gonna be great.
It's gonna be them in the Heat.
Yeah,
it's gonna be them in
It's
the
gonna
Heat.
come down to them in the Heat.
I think the Nets They picked up some good players, but they're all old.
Heard Marcus Teague, by the way, is just tearing up summer league. I always bash on Marcus
Summer
Teague.
league.
Whatever. I heard his Bulls are like impressed at how Marcus Teague is playing compared to last year.
Speaking of summer league, we want to give a huge shout out to
Our boy.
Jackie Carmichael, who absolutely tore it up for the Mavericks in Las Vegas.
I saw that. I was watching. I watched the replay. It was so
I think
good.
I think in one game he had 12 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 blocks. Like, the dude's an animal.
He's repping, dude. Redbird for life, dude.
But hopefully he gets signed by a team. I mean,
I think he'll make a roster somewhere.
He'll be.
I hope so. That'd be fantastic.
He got snubbed.
He did.
He was like projected he was like the top center left or whatever, top forward left for like the longest time. He kept getting snubbed. I was so upset.
I don't like that Europeans can. This might be a different discussion, but I don't like how Europeans can go to the NBA draft, are eligible for the NBA draft, and then have to wait 2 years to get there, and they have the choice to stay in Europe or come over. I don't
If
think
you're going to get drafted, you're coming. If I was the GM, you're coming. You're not waiting. You're coming.
The whole Ricky Rubio thing, where he spent a year in Spain, something like that. Mm-hmm. If I would have, drafted him really high, spent a big draft pick on him, and for me, a pick that high has to produce now. If I'm wasting a first round pick on you, you need to be on the team. You need to be, producing for me now. And the whole going overseas for a year thing, your skills or whatever you develop or whatever, but I think you'd be better off in the NBA.
Well, the Bulls have a pick coming over, not this season, but next season. They drafted like 3 years ago.
I don't even
know. I don't know.
He was Nicole Mirotic or something like that.
Yeah, he said he had Dirk Nowitzki comparison. He's supposed to be really, really good, 7 foot, and
he's
shoot
gonna
really
be a
good.
power forward. So when Booze is gone, we can
hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah, we can all hope that Boozer is going to be gone after this.
His name's Vladimir Radmanovic.
Nope.
Radmanovic can't. No, he was like the scales of last year's team.
Small forward.
I think it's Nicole Mirotic.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is. That sounds familiar.
Something close, but
he'll be over. So, we're gonna fire off a little random tidbits, a little bit to end the show.
By the way, hold on. Aviso Garcia, for you that don't know, who is a center fielder. He's batting .241 right now, and
where's he at? Like, where's he playing for the Tigers? Is he up in the bigs?
No, Aviso Garcia is. I think he's up in the bigs.
Oh, is he?
I think so.
Okay.
They said that. My Bleacher Report says that he was batting .241 this season. So.
Okay.
Is that a possible Alex Rios move then?
Rios actually fouled the ball off his foot today.
Yeah,
he had to come out of the game, so
that's maybe a possible outfielder move. Someone might be getting moved out there.
Yeah, he was rumored to go to the Pirates with Peavy, but speaking of the Pirates, I mean, that's fantastic for them. They're 21 over 500. Good for them. But, okay, we're going to go into the random tidbits here. First of all, Donovan McNabb retired. Any thoughts?
I'm glad he got retired with the Eagles. I mean, didn't have a very great end of his career, but he was a solid football player during his prime.
He was. He led the Eagles to, 6 or 7 straight NFC title games or something like that.
He was a 6-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah, he put up big numbers, and he dealt with T.O.'s god-awful show of popcorn or whatever he did back in the day. I mean, I love T.O., but, man, putting up with that guy back in the day before his ego kind of calmed down was a task in and of itself. And to put up with a man like that, wow.
It was good. I mean, he's on the cover of what, Madden?
06?
05?
Yes. I think 05.
Yep, it was 05.
Yeah,
the curse.
Yes, it was.
The curse.
The curse. He had a hernia or something after that, so.
That's the curse.
That season. I think Calvin Johnson broke the curse.
No, yeah.
He put up huge numbers, but Ben, you want to add something?
Yes, I have 2 bold predictions. 1, Jay Cutler will pass for over 3,500 yards this season.
Under.
Write that down, folks.
Yeah,
2.
Somebody write that down, please.
Luke Jets fantasy team will not make the playoffs for the 3rd straight year.
Okay.
Bold prediction that I will win the Super Bowl for our 3rd straight year.
I'll make the playoffs. I guarantee it.
Yeah, Luke will make the playoffs.
No.
Guaranteed right
Luke's
now.
got a better team than Ben does.
No way.
Yeah.
No.
Don't let him fool you, folks.
But, all right, I think the last one we got. Brian Wilson signs with the Dodgers. Any relevance here? I mean, just besides the
a
beard.
minor league deal.
Good for him.
He'll be up soon.
Yeah, he'll be up soon. I'm glad he's got back. The beard's still there. It's intact. Good as ever. So don't worry, folks. Beard fans.
All right, and I think that wraps up episode 7 here.
Dakota's future.
Oh, That's true. Thank you, Shane. We're going to give a big shout out to
Huge shout out.
at Cubs Future. It's the Cubs Future Prospect Watch. If you don't follow them on Twitter, follow them. Look at our links. We've tweeted them out. They're great, great guys. Talk a lot of Cubs prospects. If you're interested in that, go follow them. They always need a big following base, and they're giving us. We're cross-promoting each other. So, I mean, a big shout out to them. They're doing fantastic things over there. So, go give them a follow. And I believe that's it. Thank you, K-Mac, for being on.
Once again, it was at KMac Time on your Twitter.
Yep, at KMac Time. Come follow.
Give him a follow and then go subscribe to his YouTube videos. They're actually very, very good YouTube videos. You guys will be impressed.
Exactly. Hilarious. Fantastic. The cartoon conspiracies are just excellent. So, for my partners, at BenMarks25, at Shane Hardy 08, this is at LukeJet10, Shane, Ben, and Luke. And go follow us on Twitter at bench_thoughts. Always love followers. Love to hear from you guys. Tweet at us. Email us. Go follow our Facebook page. We're Thoughts for the Bench on there. Go give us a like. And I think that's it. So see you guys next